Welcome back to the channel everyone. Today we are unpacking the latest financial results from a major player in India's infrastructure space, Adani Ports and Special Economic Zone Limited or APSEZL.
That's right. APSEZL is India's largest private multi-port operator and an end-to-end logistics provider. They have a significant presence across the Indian coastline and even internationally, managing ports, logistics parks, and providing related services. It's a key company to watch for anyone interested in India's trade and infrastructure story.
Absolutely. So they've released their audited financial results for the quarter and the full year ended March 31st, 2025. These results were approved by their board of directors in a meeting held on May 1st, 2025. We've got both the consolidated and standalone figures here.
Correct. Audited results, reviewed by the audit committee and approved by the board. The statutory auditors, MSKA and Associates, have issued their reports as well, which we'll definitely get into later.
Great. Let's jump straight into the headline numbers, starting with the consolidated results for the fourth quarter of financial year 2025. How did the revenue look compared to last year and the previous quarter?
Okay, on a consolidated basis for Q4 FY25, revenue from operations came in at 8,488.44 crore rupees. Comparing that year over year, it's a solid jump from the 6,896.50 crore rupees they reported in Q4 FY24.
That's a pretty strong year-over-year growth. And what about sequentially compared to the third quarter?
Quarter over quarter, it's also up. Revenue increased from 7,963.55 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So positive momentum both year over year and quarter over quarter on the consolidated top line for Q4.
Excellent. Now let's look at profitability. How did EBITDA perform in the fourth quarter?
Alright, looking at the investor presentation figures for consolidated EBITDA, Q4 FY25 saw EBITDA at 5,006 crore rupees. That's a strong performance compared to Q4 FY24, which was 4,044 crore rupees, a significant year-over-year increase.
And the quarter-over-quarter picture for EBITDA?
Sequentially, the EBITDA also showed growth compared to Q3 FY25. We don't have the exact Q3 figure here from the presentation data summary, but the overall trend for the year suggests positive momentum continued into Q4.
Okay, let's drill down further to profit before tax, or PBT, for the quarter consolidated.
Consolidated PBT for Q4 FY25 stood at 3,531.93 crore rupees. Year over year, that's a substantial rise from 2,340.98 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
And sequentially from Q3?
Quarter over quarter, PBT also grew strongly from 3,019.87 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. Very robust profit growth before tax in the final quarter.
That naturally leads us to the bottom line, profit after tax or PAT. What are the consolidated numbers for Q4?
Consolidated PAT for Q4 FY25 was 3,023.10 crore rupees. Year over year, this is a significant jump from the 2,014.77 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
And how does that PAT compare to the previous quarter Q3?
Sequentially, it's also a strong performance. PAT increased from 2,518.39 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So consistent growth across the board for consolidated results in Q4.
How did this translate into earnings per share or EPS for the quarter?
The consolidated basic and diluted EPS for Q4 FY25 was 13.95 rupees. That's up year over year from 9.44 rupees in Q4 FY24. Sequentially, it also increased from 11.67 rupees in Q3 FY25.
Okay, that covers the quarterly consolidated picture. Now let's look at the full financial year 2025 on a consolidated basis. How did revenue, EBITDA, PBT, and PAT stack up against FY24?
For the full year FY25, consolidated revenue from operations hit 30,475.33 crore rupees. This is a healthy 16% increase year over year from 26,710.56 crore rupees in FY24. Remember, this revenue figure excludes a one-time gain from a stake sale.
Right, we should mention that separately. What was that gain?
There was a gain of 603.27 crore rupees from the sale of a stake in the Adani Ennore container terminal, which happened in the first quarter of FY25. That's reported separately on the income statement.
Got it. Now, back to the full year operational performance. What about consolidated EBITDA for FY25?
Full year FY25 consolidated EBITDA, as per the investor presentation, reached 19,025 crore rupees. That's a strong 20% increase year over year from 15,864 crore rupees in FY24. They actually surpassed their revised guidance here.
Impressive. And the full year consolidated PBT and PAT?
Consolidated PBT for FY25 stood at 13,029.62 crore rupees, up significantly from 10,093.73 crore rupees in FY24. And the consolidated PAT for FY25 came in strong at 11,061.26 crore rupees. That's a remarkable 37% jump year over year from 8,103.99 crore rupees in FY24.
Wow, a 37% jump in annual profit. How did the full year EPS look?
The consolidated EPS for FY25 was 51.35 rupees, up substantially from 37.55 rupees in FY24.
Okay, that's a strong consolidated performance. Now let's switch gears to the standalone results. How did APSEZL perform on its own in Q4 FY25, starting with revenue?
Right. Looking at the standalone figures for Q4 FY25, revenue from operations was 2,129.80 crore rupees. Year over year, that's an increase from 1,963.59 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
Okay, so year over year growth on the standalone top line as well. What about the sequential quarter over quarter trend?
Interestingly, quarter over quarter, the standalone revenue saw a slight dip. It came down from 2,182.08 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So a different trend here compared to the consolidated picture for Q4 revenue.
That is interesting. How about standalone PBT for Q4?
Standalone PBT for Q4 FY25 was 995.36 crore rupees. This is up year over year from 826.47 crore rupees in Q4 FY24.
And the quarter over quarter PBT performance for standalone?
Sequentially, the standalone PBT showed a very strong jump, up from 599.47 crore rupees in Q3 FY25. So despite the slight QoQ revenue dip, the standalone PBT surged in Q4.
That suggests strong cost control, or maybe a favorable change in the revenue mix or other income at the standalone level in Q4. What about standalone PAT for the quarter?
Standalone PAT for Q4 FY25 was 700.13 crore rupees. That's up year over year from 622.90 crore rupees in Q4 FY24. And consistent with the PBT trend, the quarter over quarter PAT also saw a significant jump, up from 408.89 crore rupees in Q3 FY25.
And the standalone EPS for Q4?
Standalone basic and diluted EPS for Q4 FY25 was 3.24 rupees, up from 2.88 rupees year over year, and up from 1.89 rupees quarter over quarter.
And for the full year FY25 on a standalone basis?
For the full year FY25, standalone revenue from operations, excluding the gain on stake sale, which is consolidated, was 7,910.69 crore rupees, up from 6,806.66 crore rupees in FY24. Total standalone income for FY25, including other income, was 10,412.64 crore rupees. Full year standalone PBT was 3,559.53 crore rupees, up from 2,531.92 crore rupees in FY24. And full year standalone PAT was 2,457.15 crore rupees compared to 1,738.35 crore rupees in FY24.
So solid growth on the standalone side for the full year as well. What about profitability margins? We saw consolidated EBITDA margin was strong.
Yes, the consolidated EBITDA margin for FY25 was 61%, an improvement from 59% in FY24. This indicates strong operational efficiency at the group level. While we don't have a direct standalone EBITDA figure, the standalone PBT and PAT margins also appear healthy based on the numbers we discussed, suggesting good profitability at the parent company level too.
Were there any significant exceptional items reported in the consolidated results this year or last year?
Yes, there were. For FY25, the consolidated results included exceptional expenses totaling 249.46 crore rupees. This was mainly due to settlements related to a voluntary retirement plan and another one-time employee settlement at foreign subsidiaries. For comparison, in FY24, the exceptional expense was 373.70 crore rupees, which included similar VRP costs and also a reclassification adjustment for foreign currency translation reserves. So the exceptional impact was lower in FY25.
Good to note. Let's touch upon the consolidated balance sheet as of March 31st, 2025. Any key highlights?
The consolidated balance sheet shows total assets standing at 1,35,332.23 crore rupees, up from about 1,18,917 crore rupees the previous year. Total equity attributable to owners has grown significantly to 62,435.39 crore rupees from around 52,944 crore rupees. Total debt, combining current and non-current borrowings, is approximately 45,810 crore rupees.
Okay, and turning to the consolidated cash flow statement for FY25.
The consolidated cash flow from operations was strong at 17,226.28 crore rupees, up nicely from 15,017 crore rupees in FY24. Cash used in investing activities was higher at 9,787 crore rupees, likely reflecting their expansion and acquisitions. Cash used in financing activities was lower at 6,915 crore rupees, mainly due to lower net repayment of borrowings compared to FY24.
And did the board recommend a dividend?
Yes, they did. The board has recommended a dividend of 7 rupees per equity share for the financial year 2024-25. That's up from 6 rupees last year. The record date is set for Friday, June 13, 2025, and the dividend, if approved at the AGM, will be paid on or after June 26, 2025.
Now, let's look at the segment performance on a consolidated basis. How did the different business segments contribute?
APSEZL reports primarily under two segments, Port and SEZ activities and others, which mainly covers their logistics and transportation business. For FY25, the Port and SEZ segment generated revenue of 28,051.21 crore rupees, a solid increase from FY24. The others segment also grew well, bringing in 3,492.13 crore rupees in revenue. In terms of profitability before interest and tax, the Port and SEZ segment remains the powerhouse, contributing 14,435.67 crore rupees, while the others segment contributed 351.60 crore rupees. The logistics part, others, is growing fast, but ports are still the dominant profit driver.
That makes sense. So summarizing the performance, strong year-over-year growth across the board for consolidated FY25, surpassing guidance. Standalone also showed good annual growth, though Q4 had a slight sequential revenue dip offset by a strong profit jump. How does this compare contextually?
The performance indicates strong execution. The growth in cargo volumes, expansion into logistics, and strategic acquisitions seem to be paying off. The consolidated EBITDA margin improvement to 61% points towards operational efficiencies. While direct industry benchmarks aren't in this report, APSEZL continues to gain market share in India's port sector, which underlines their strong competitive position.
The report also contains several notes and mentions events. What are the key ones we should highlight?
There are quite a few important points. Firstly, the update on the short seller report matter. The company reiterates the Supreme Court's order and states management's belief that based on reviews, there are no material non-compliances. This is mentioned as an emphasis of matter by the auditors. Secondly, the disclosure about the US DOJ SEC indictment against an executive director. The company clarifies it's not named and states no financial impact. Thirdly, acquisitions and divestments were significant. They completed the Gopalpur port acquisition, acquired Astro Offshore Group, Marine Services, and the Tanzania terminal operations. The Ennore terminal stake sale gain was booked. Board approval was also given post-year-end for acquiring Abbott Point Port Holdings in Australia. Fourthly, security cover for their debentures is adequate, exceeding the required norms, as certified by the auditors in separate reports. And finally, the board meeting outcomes we touched on earlier. Director reappointment, PS Jaykumar, new secretarial auditor, Ashwin Shah, new internal auditor, A.K. Sinha replacing Abhiram Budkar due to rotation policy, the dividend, and the upcoming AGM scheduled for June 24, 2025 via video conferencing.
That's a lot happening. Now, a critical part, the auditor's report. What did MSKA and Associates say in their reports for both consolidated and standalone results? Any qualifications or concerns?
This is crucial. For both the consolidated and the standalone financial results for the year ended March 31, 2025, MSKA and Associates have issued an unmodified opinion. This means that, in their view, the financial statements give a true and fair view and comply with the accounting standards.
Unmodified. That's a clean opinion, right?
Yes, exactly. It's the best type of opinion you can get. However, they did include an emphasis of matter paragraph in both reports. This paragraph draws attention to Note 5 regarding the short seller report allegations and the ongoing investigations and legal proceedings. The auditors clarify that their opinion is not modified in respect of this matter. They are simply highlighting it for the reader's attention due to its significance.
Okay, so clean opinion, but they want users to specifically read the note about the SSR matter. Anything else in the auditor's report?
They also included other matters paragraphs, which is standard practice in large consolidations. These mention their reliance on the audit work performed by other auditors for numerous subsidiaries, joint ventures, and associates, including those located outside India. This doesn't qualify their opinion, but explains the basis of their audit coverage. For the standalone report, the other matter relates to the audit of a foreign branch.
Got it. So, unmodified opinions across the board, but with an emphasis of matter on the SSR issue. Based on all this, what's the outlook for APSEZL?
Disclaimer: as always, investors should consult certified financial advisors before making any investment decisions. The outlook appears strong based on the company's own guidance for FY26. They are projecting significant growth in revenue, 36 to 38,000 crore rupees, and EBITDA, 21 to 22,000 crore rupees, along with substantial capex plans, 11 to 12,000 crore rupees. Key drivers will be continued cargo volume growth, projected 505 to 515 MMT, the ramp-up of the logistics business, especially trucking, and a big push in the marine services segment post the Astra acquisition. Risks include potential slowdowns in global trade, execution risks associated with their large capex and integration of acquisitions, and the lingering overhang from the SSR allegations, even though management and auditors haven't flagged material financial non-compliance currently.
Right. So to wrap up our analysis of Adani Ports FY25 results,
it's been a very strong year for APSEZL. They've delivered robust growth in revenue and even stronger growth in profits, surpassing their own guidance. Operational cash flows are healthy, supporting their expansion plans. The balance sheet is leveraged but within reasonable limits for an infrastructure company, and they maintain adequate security cover for debt. Segment-wise, ports remain dominant, but logistics is showing strong growth. The auditors have given clean, unmodified opinions on both standalone and consolidated results, which is a positive, though the emphasis of matter on the SSR issue remains. The forward guidance for FY26 is very ambitious, indicating confidence from the management.
A comprehensive look indeed. Thanks for breaking that down for us.
My pleasure. Lots to track with APSEZL in the coming year.
That's all the time we have for today. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more financial deep dives. We'll see you next time.